Hello everyone, Jazzy is back with another Kingdom Hearts theory video. There is just so much to discuss with Kingdom Hearts, I don't even know where to start. I thought I would just do 2 videos, but I had to make this one. As I make my way through Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, I had to pause because one scene early on caught my attention right away as it ties nicely to my last video. So this time around, I will be doing a long in-depth analysis of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distances, in which I will introduce a couple of cutscenes that caught my eye. This will be a long theory video, so you can take your time with it, leave and come back if need be, but try to watch the whole thing to get a full understanding. Before I dive into theory mode, let me give you a recap of important points brought up in my first theory video to expand each idea further. I introduced the 3 I call wild cards of fate of the 3 major world lines: Brain of the Age of Fairy Tales, Ericus of Sora's world, and Luxord of Yozora's world, who are changing a program the Master of Masters so carefully wrote, as said by Lucio. In this video, I will discuss the program mentioned in a dialogue between Sora, Xemnas, and young Xehanort during Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which discusses 2 master programs, the original aka The Grid, and a copy aka Space Paranoids, both related to the world of Tron. I introduced the authors of the Book of Prophecies, Master of Masters and Vanitas, Ansem the Wise and Xehanort, and possibly Demyx. They are the ones responsible for creating the adversaries of the Kingdom Hearts universe: Heartless, Nobodies, Dream Eaters, Unversed, and possibly Gigas. This theory video will expand on their roles in Sora's journey. We have been introduced to the replica program as a means to recreate a person through memories, or data per se, and the idea of creating a heart from compiled data of emotions and even extracting data from the heart to create something. Again, these ideas are respectively hinted at in the same dialogue between Sora and adversaries in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, dialogue with Riku replica in San Francisco in Kingdom Hearts 3, and the backstory of the Master of Masters detailing the creation of Keyblades being extracted from the hearts of his apprentices. Lastly, we are introduced to that idea of replacing one's heart with another's, as mentioned by the Nameless Star in the final world in Kingdom Hearts 3. We also know that characters such as Xehanort and Braig have moved their hearts from vessel to vessel over time, and with this their appearance also changes. We also know that when a strong-willed person loses their heart, a Heartless and Nobody are produced. In the case of Nobodies, it looks like that person at that state in time. For example, Xemnas and Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, look like Terra Xehanort, and Xigbar looks like Braig, not the original Lucio. Adding to this, Sora holds many hearts within himself and is connected to many others. One main being Ventus, and by extension Vanitas. So riddle me this: why does a Nobody Roxas look like Ven instead of Sora, and why does Vanitas look like Sora instead of Ven? Whose heart replaced the Nameless Star's friend? Who is the creator of the Master Program? Let's discuss 2 key cutscenes from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance and 1 cutscene from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross to understand the true heart of the characters and the direction future Kingdom Hearts games will probably go. This is a long theory video, so take your time and really absorb everything in. Enjoy! In this first scene, Sora is confronted by young Xehanort, who says Sora holds precious hearts in the back of his mind. Xemnas then discusses manners of memories, the heart, and emotions, all tightly linked in how data can store information or memories but can't feel anything without a heart. This is a driving force behind furthering the development of the replica program. He then discusses how Ansem the Wise found an old system's master control program and copied it to use for his own means. Pause. The master control program was introduced in Kingdom Hearts 2. The master control program is from the movie Tron, in which at first it was designed as a chess program. Ericus and Xehanort do play chess, okay. But was repurposed as a central computer network for a computer company that first focused on developing video games. VRMX, right, okay. But gained research facilities to develop technology which could convert physical matter into digital code. In Kingdom Hearts, It is a program found on the main computer of Ansem the Wise in Radiant Garden as space paranoids. Ansem stored all his research on the heart and heartless in this computer. He created a datascape that can only be accessed by knowing the passwords to his Door to Darkness program. The Master Control program gained a mind of its own to control over the computer system and even summon digitized Heartless to take over the user's world. Tron is able to defeat the Master Control program and takes its place as a new Master Control program. The original Master Control program is the grid of Tron's sleeping world. In Tron, it is described as an experimental platform where all forms of research can be carried out at unparalleled speeds. The grid consists of many cities inhabited by programs and other terrain landscapes with weather simulation that mimics the real world. So, in Kingdom Hearts terms, it is a datascape. In Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, we are confronted by Clue, a hacker program who contains the spirit of his user from the real world and wants the Keyblade to unlock something. Keep this in mind as we continue. Now, back to the cutscene. Young Xehanort tells Sora the dream realm Sora and Riku are in during their Mark of Mastery exam is the original program, not the one Ansem copied. Here, data can be copied, memories changed, and easily manipulated, which means this master program has a master manipulator. Xemnas proceeded to ask Sora if his heart, memories, data, and dreams are his own and not copies of someone else's, for him to make certain the box's content matches what's on the label, and that Sora has been chosen for a certain task. Pause again, because this is the main part that caught my attention. As we know, there is a black box with noticeable symbols connected to the numbers 7 and 13 and the 7 deadly sins. A certain label on this black box has sparked a bunch of theories of what could be inside. The label says X Super, or maybe even Key Super, which many have connected to the Latin word superb or pride, because the Master of Masters and the 6 apprentices' names are derived from the 7 deadly sins. Pride would be the Master of Masters, he who created Keyblades from people's hearts, ushering subsequent Keyblade Wars. Knowing this in the context of what Xemnas asked Sora in this scene, it may be safe to assume Sora is the Master of Masters and just doesn't realize it, because the precious hearts he holds in the back of his mind are trapped in the black box. Noticeably, the box has 13 identical red hinges and heart symbols where the handles are. Now remember, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, Ericus introduced a new game to Xehanort in which there are 7 black pieces, as represented by Master of Masters and his 6 apprentices. We can assume there will be 13 light pieces. These could be 13 lights. Remember, in the secret ending, we see Master of Masters make a box symbol before switching to a heart symbol at the moon in Yuzora's world. If we associate the box with 13 lights, then the Master of Masters may have put their hearts inside that box and is planning to bring out a true Kingdom Hearts in Yuzora's world, creating the ultimate class of light and darkness. Think of it like this: to summon the darkness sealed within Kingdom Hearts to reset the world, you need 7 lights and 13 darknesses to class, while to summon light from Kingdom Hearts to begin a world anew, you need 7 darknesses and 13 lights to clash. 6 hearts would be Ephemer, Scald, Brain, Marluxia, Larxene, and Strelitzia. We don't see Marluxia or Larxene in the ending, and the other 4 whereabouts are unknown. But there are a few others too, like Luxord and Demyx, who are becoming more important to the story. So alternatively, I would switch out Marluxia and Larxene for Demyx and Luxord, maybe. The other 7 hearts would be Sora, Riku, Kairi, Terra, Aqua, Ventus, and Braig, whose hearts are the light counterparts to the 7 others, Master of Masters and his 6 apprentices. Master of Masters told Luxu not to open the black box. Should Sora remember its contents, certainly more chaos would ensue in the pursuit of it, without understanding the truth of who he really is. Sora always says, "My friends are my power," and I believe that an even greater power can be found in that black box. I'll expand on this idea more when we review the other 2 key cutscenes. Back to the first cutscene. Young Xehanort proceeds to tell Sora that he is mistaken, that what he calls the dream realm is actually the real world because Data cannot dream. Sora doesn't know where he is and is wandering off the path another has laid for him. Following this, we hear that Tron can be reprogrammed to suit the desired purpose of Clue, the hacker program seeking the Keyblade, since it can open locks. Maybe the way to a certain code locked away, the Data of Master of Masters, the one who wrote the Book of Prophecies, the Master Manipulator. Lastly, Riku's story in the grid centers around his journey to recover an identity disk, everything that makes up the program. Another part of his journey is to find the portal, the only way to exit this world into the user's world, in order to defeat Clue. Riku relates Clue's search for perfection to Xehanort's plan for light and darkness to be in balance, and how both of their actions bring about ruin. This part begins to tie everything together. Sora is currently in the grid, a sleeping world. This place that fell to darkness as Radiant Garden became Hollow Bastion wasn't fully restored thereafter. Before this occurred, Ansem the Wise created a copy of the Master Control Program and used it for his main computer system, giving rise to space paranoids. Within this new program, he safeguards his research into the heart and seizes it. It is safe to say that Subject X is Scald, and as Xehanort secretly began experiments to uncover her identity, looking into her heart for lost memories, he came across information on the Age of Fairy Tales, as some of his memories as Master Xehanort returned. He learned she remembers 4 friends a key, escaping from one world to another with others, and that she has traveled through time. We learn that Ansem found out about Xehanort continuing experiments. He demanded him to stop and destroy his research and to release his test subjects. However, at this time, Subject X may have already been gone. In a cutscene from Kingdom Hearts 3, we learn that Ansem ceased research into the heart because Subject X disappeared. This would suggest that Ansem was becoming aware of who Subject X really is, Scald, and her disappearance wasn't good. We learn from Subject X that Braig removed her from her cell, and from then neither Ansem or Xehanort knows what happened to her. Knowing Braig is Lushu, this is where things get interesting. As we learn from more secret reports from Lushu, that Scald and others were originally meant to remain within the Data Daybreak Town, a world line with no Keyblade War. However, the virus, aka Brain, discovered they were in a Data Daybreak Town and sought for them to escape. After Darkness arrived, the discovery of the Forbidden Room containing the Ark, and Maleficent traveling into the past, into this datascape, the 5 were able to travel into the user's world using the Ark, which is essentially a portal for this datascape world. The Keyblade was supposed to remain within the datascape and all the other data worlds tied to the grid, or the Master Control Program made by the Master of Masters. But since they left and returned to the user's world, Sora's world, the Keyblade returned, and this inevitably led to the prophesied future in which the Book of Prophecies discussed. Darkness prevailed and light expired. However, we learned that in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, that Ansem the Wise hid his heart research data within Sora while he was regaining his memories during Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, with the hopes that Sora will one day use this to open the door and save them along with all the others connected to his heart that are waiting for their new beginnings, their birth by sleep. He refers to these people as those who have been lost or no longer exist, that are in a deep sleep within the darkness or warmth of Sora's heart, either fell to the darkness or were trapped there. Essentially, Sora became the door to darkness, and the darkness of Sora's heart needs to be unlocked to reach the contents of the black box. Who is this darkness? Vanitas, the one who stole Starlitia's heart and hid within Ventus' heart. Watch this other key cutscene from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance of Ansem and Riku discussing hearts lost within the darkness of Sora's heart, and how he has to be himself to save them.
Perhaps he has the power to bring back the hearts and existences of those connected to him, to recreate people we thought were lost to us forever. Our most precious treasures, even an empty puppet, the trees of the forest, and the petals on the wind. There are hearts around us everywhere we look. And it does not take superhuman powers to see them. Surely we remember as children the way our hearts made everything seem so shiny and perfect. Sora has a heart like that, uncorrupted, willing to see the good before the bad. When he sees the heart in something, it then becomes real. When a connection seems broken, he may have the power to mend it. He has touched countless hearts. He has accepted them, and he has saved them. And some of those hearts have never left him, whether they fell into darkness or were trapped there, whether they sleep in the darkness of Sora's heart, or were welcomed into its warmth. They can be saved. All Sora needs to do is be himself and follow wherever it is that his heart takes him. It is the best and the only way.
Sora's connection to all these people sent him to the final world in which he could reset time and have light prevail. Who are these people? Primarily Ephemer, Skald, Brain, and Strelitzia, I believe. Where have they gone? The real lost hearts were in the final world appearing as stars. Here I show their respective dialogues. While their bodies were used as vessels to hold the hearts of people from Yozora's world. How did they do this? Using hearts formed from their data, the very thing Riku Replica was looking into in Kingdom Hearts 3 in San Francisco. Essentially the equivalent of identity discs from Tron, Ansem's code, his research into the heart, allowed the digitization of hearts, and they were placed in vessels to make a program become what someone wants it to be. To expand on this, there are two Yozora realities. The one we see Yozora and his driver in, that can be represented by Yozora's blue eye, which is the real world, and the data one we see Sora and Yozora in within the grid, which can be represented by Yozora's red eye, in which he sees nightmares. Yozora's data world or dream world is a world made from physical matter being converted into data, and hearts siphoned from the user world to make them, be data from their world or Sora's world. Here they may be more aware of their original selves as Yozora tells Sora that this isn't what he really looks like. The real world contains programs of Yozora and his comrades whose bodies were provided by the Lost Ones, and their hearts are replaced by Yozora's and others' data. Strelitzia's equivalent may not be known yet, but I believe Yozora is Ephemer, Skald is the girl, and Brain is Magia. So in a weird way, they are essentially recompleted, physically changed nobodies, if that makes sense. The real hearts, the data of the lights of the past, are inside the black box. This extends to others mentioned earlier, as they are too connected to the 7 darknesses and 6 lights, Strelitzia, Marluxia, and Larxene, whose Yozora world equivalents may not be known yet. As for Aegis and Yozora's driver, they are probably actually from this world and are Demyx and Luxord respectively. So the main conflict in this next arc may be Sora trying to reclaim his heart or original heart from the black box and regaining his own identity, not being a pawn in the Master of Masters master program. To summarize this theory, I will introduce 3 world lines of the user's world and their respective data worlds. First, we have the Keyblade War and the Age of Fairy Tales, a Data Daybreak Town, and the Book of Prophecies. Next, we have Sora's world, Ansem's code, and Jimny's journal, in which you get this datascape. Last, we have Yozora's world, the grid, and the Master Control Program. In the Master of Masters time, Keyblade Wars occurred due to him studying the Keyblade and Kingdom Hearts, and thus him creating Keyblades from people's hearts. This world was destroyed, and the Select 5 and other 5 dandelions are sent to the Day-to-Daybreak town. Here, Darkness, also known as Vanitas, arrived to send this world into ruin as well. But one of the 5 Union leaders is given Master of Masters Keyblade by Lushu, and the 5 are sent to another world line at no small cost, Sora's world. Here, they had roles to play before they are sent to Yozora's world. They are all sent to the future at key points in time. We know Lorian becomes Marluxia of Organization 13. Ventus was found by Xehanort and joined Ericus, Terra, and Aqua. And I think it's safe to assume Scald is Subject X, so she was found by Ansem and his apprentices. We don't know the fates of Ephemer or Brain, but I believe all were torn heart from body, leading some to be connected to Yozora's world. Ephemer we do see in the Keyblade graveyard, and many, including myself, link Brain to Ericus, possibly his and Xehanort's master. Kingdom Hearts Dark World is coming out soon, and it looks like there will be 6 main characters, so hopefully we can get more answers. I do believe Ephemer eventually found his way to reside within Ventus. We do know Scald eventually went missing. In Kingdom Hearts 3, Ansem Seeker of Darkness tracks down Ansem the Wise in order to know the whereabouts of Subject X, claiming that he knew how to reconstruct memories and hid her in a datascape after finding out something specific from her memories. What is it I believe he found in her memories? Was about the Master Control Program's relation to the Ark, a portal to traverse time in Worldline. He made a copy of this Master Control Program he found on his computer and placed all the research he has done into the heart and Scald within Sora as he regained his memories during Kingdom Hearts' Chain of Memories, so he could one day remember the lost ones and the ones who no longer exist, those connected to the Age of Fairy Tales. It is through this act that Sora can connect with the light of the past, who recomplete his heart and send him back in time to have light prevail against the 13 Darknesses and Master Xehanort. And this is where the story leaves off, Sora disappearing from the world after various attempts to save Kairi and ending up in Shibuya of Yozora's world. I asked earlier, so riddle me this. Why does the nobody Roxas look like Ven instead of Sora? And why does Vanitas look like Sora instead of Ven? I don't think that the first heart to find its way to Ventus in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was Sora. Yes, Sora found Ventus's heart at the end of this game, but another may have recompleted Ventus's heart at the beginning. I believe Ephemer found Ventus's heart as he was an old friend, and Sora mistakes Ephemer for Vanitas when you fight the Dark Inferno in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. Check out these cutscenes in which this person is voiceless. I believe Dark Inferno is Ephemer's equivalent to the Guardian for Terra.
Heart is fractured. And now, the little I have left is slipping away. Huh? Right. Thanks.
This is Ven's heart. Ven! Ven! What? Who are you? Darkness? Vanitas?
We know Sora and Ventus would come to share a heart, but I believe Roxas is a nobody produced by Ventus when Sora decided to release Kairi's heart in Kingdom Hearts 1. Vanitas is the darkness from the Age of Fairy Tales who sought out the pure light, Ventus. As stated earlier, he was extracted from Ventus's heart before it merged with anyone. Interestingly, when they fight, Vanitas tells Ventus that his body will perish and they must join together. So where did he originally get his body from? His chosen form to manifest as? Sora. Riku in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance even says that his darkness manifested as himself, the Riku possessed by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. I also believe the Master of Masters is Sora's nobody that became a somebody. Ansem the Wise in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance did say to Riku that Sora was able to return to his human form without destroying his nobody. Maybe he was referring to the Master of Masters and not Roxas. With that said, let me try to put all this together in a wild theory. It starts in the Master of Masters' past, when he was a boy named Sora. In the cutscene from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, the Master of Masters discusses his childhood. He says the Keyblade War began when he was a boy. He had no master, but he was a wielder and fought with others beside him, which I believe to be 6 others. He and the others fought a darkness that took on the same form as them, unlike the ones they face now, which are heartless from the future, but he says they are not human, but maybe perhaps they were monsters. So this makes me believe they were heartless like Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, that took a humanoid form. He proceeded to say that the battle against the darkness began a while ago, and the darkness is always changing form, hiding inside people like Vanitas does as he hides inside Ventus. But it all may come to an end with this Keyblade War, as darkness will prevail. The world will end, everything will be erased. The Keyblade wielders that escaped will restore this world, claiming nobody can erase the stories, the worlds that live on in the children's hearts, whose light will rebirth the world. But nobody can erase the darkness either. All they can do is stop fighting. He decides to now be a bystander and watch events unfold. He leaves it up to the exceptional ones Master Ava will choose to go to the other world line to preserve the light. Their stories begin with Kingdom Hearts Key, Kingdom Hearts Unchained, to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. In closing, he states that all of them may not make it back to the original world. As said many times before, the world began in darkness until the first light, Kingdom Hearts, sealed the darkness within itself. Its counterpart, the Keyblade, is the only way to open the door to it, the heart of all worlds. Kingdom Hearts gives birth to the worlds by creating people with hearts. All the worlds are connected by the light. Here's what I think. As a child, he studied the Keyblade and Kingdom Hearts. As war broke out over the light, people fought to possess the Keyblade for ultimate power. As a result, the Keyblade was scattered into 20 pieces, 7 light and 13 dark. The 13 dark pieces hid themselves inside people, devouring their hearts and manifested as humanoid Heartless. The Heartless's sole mission is to unseal the darkness from Kingdom Hearts by seeking out the 7 lights to reclaim the Keyblade. The Master of Masters, as Sora and his 6 comrades, face 13 darknesses as guardians of the 7 lights. But 7 is not enough. They fall to the darkness, hearts returning to Kingdom Hearts. Strong heart torn from body, Sora produced a nobody and a heartless. The others probably as well. Fragments of the 6 comrades' hearts are sent to the final world. Sora's feelings of despair were so powerful that it created the darkness, the ultimate unversed Vanitas. As a nobody, he retained his memories while a new heart eventually forms. As a new existence, he becomes the Master of Masters. Being a nobody, he learns of the realm in between, a place where he can reside to disappear to when needed. He also will find a way to retrieve hearts from Kingdom Hearts. Master of Masters began studying the connections between worlds, creating the grid. Gather data from the age of fairy tales to keep this world in a state before the final Keyblade War of Kingdom Hearts Key. This is called the Master Program, and it creates this data world. Here, most of the worlds containing the Princesses of Heart are found in worlds associated with King Mickey's past. They're stuck in a state before darkness came. Also, Traverse Town and the World That Never Was, a world for nobodies, resides here. Radiant Garden was not preserved here. However, the Master Program was stored on the main computer of the castle in Radiant Garden in the real world. The Master then travels back in time. The Master of Masters let the events play out in the real world and tasked his apprentice Lucio with seeing things through to the end with his Keyblade in hand. This led up to the point when, again, Sora and comrades are torn heart from body. Sora's original Heartless, the Lich, was used to gather their hearts, while Master of Masters defeated the new Heartless and took their nobodies as vessels. Young Xehanort said, "The Lich you've been fighting is not like other Heartless. It exists to usher hearts down to the depths of darkness." They collect valuable data from these hearts, data he intends to use in his Master Control Program. He places them in the black box, hides the locking key within the darkness. Vanitas. Vanitas does wield the Void Gear Keyblade containing the Gazing Eye and an S-shaped keychain, again connecting to Suburbia, or Pride, a keychain connected to the darkness and time. The Master of Masters writes the Book of Prophecies, makes copies, and returns to the past yet again with his and his 6 fallen comrades' hearts in tow, as this reality is lost to the darkness. Then, the Master of Masters starts the Kingdom Hearts Key, as we know, as a quest to find exceptional hearts that can strengthen his own and his friends. Placing these 6 hearts into 6 others, Lucio, Ira, Alva, Envy, Aced, and Gula, he plans to have their hearts replace 6 others: Braig, Riku, Kairi, Aqua, Terra, and Ventus. He gathers more lights, being Ephemer, Scald, Brain, Lurian, Sterlitzia, and Arena, to cause a time paradox. Their presence in the future will heavily tip the scales in the light's favor. However, their hearts too end up in the black box. Vanitas hides within Ventus, and Master of Masters would place his original heart within the Sora we know, thus choosing the 7 Guardians of Light. However, King Mickey would rise up and replace Lucio. This time, the Master of Masters prepares for light to prevail by strengthening the lights, making more connection to other lights. The Master of Masters wants light to prevail as he plans for the events to come afterwards. This is hinted when the Master of Masters tells Ira that they should plan for the events after darkness prevails. The Lost Masters return having vessels waiting for them. In the end, he produces much more lights wielding Keyblades than Darknesses in the foreseeable future, creating the exceptional Keyblade wielders he always wanted. However, since their hearts are not their own, he can take them away and recomplete himself and his original comrades. Technically, if the Master of Masters and Lich are defeated, he will be recompleted and can take over Sora, since he holds his heart. In Yozora's world, the Master of Masters may seek to summon Kingdom Hearts by pitting himself and apprentices against 13 Data Hearts in the black box and removing the 7 hearts in Sora and his friends for their own. In the end, it must be fate. At first, Nomura wanted only Riku to visit the grid, but then decided to have Sora visit too. I'm glad he did, as it gave us this thought-provoking scene. This caused me to look into many other cutscenes with this in mind. So, now I wonder if the task Sora is destined for is to save everyone or to be reabsorbed back into his true form, Master of Masters. I wonder if the Master of Masters is plotting to bring Kingdom Hearts to the data world and needs a way to summon it. With the Dark Road game coming out soon, and so many parallels of Yozora's world to the world that ends with you, I can't wait to see how Kingdom Hearts will progress. I myself have already began diving into possibilities of what is to come. So for now, I will leave you with this image. I hope you enjoyed this theory video. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Take care.